Welcome back to the Green Means Go channel. Get yourself a shirt down below in the store. You don't have to buy a shirt, but they're available. Didn't plan on starting with an ad today. Here we are. It's Wednesday, and we kind of have a chaotic eye-rubbing day because there were a lot of games canceled yesterday, which moves them to today. The weather across the country is glorious. I will discuss that in a second. Let's talk about yesterday. We did hit Christopher Morel for 450, and we did hit Jake McCarthy for 13-1, and that's the only good stuff we had. As far as our official plays, Miami money line for the free bet won. We had quite a few voids. Let's just talk about this. Christopher Morel and Max Muncy was our Dinger Tuesday play of the day. Now, I specifically said this is the Max Muncy for the Dodgers. If you weren't listening and you happened to play Max Muncy for the Oakland Athletics, you won. You won because Max Muncy of the Oakland Athletics hit a home run. So if you accidentally did Morel and Muncy same game parlay, because they were in the same game, you won your bet. If you followed directions, you lost. We did hit Max Muncy as a straight, though, so that feels marvelous. Let's look at today. Let's go. All that stuff, we don't need to talk about it. Tampa Bay. So here's what I'll tell you. There are games today that include doubleheaders. I am only looking at the first game of the doubleheader. I am not trying to, I can't because there's no odds that exist for the second game. So you're on your own for the second game of the doubleheaders, and we'll get after today. Tampa Bay is one of my favorite spots today. It looks like it's going to be an awesome place for home runs to be hit, and the prices are not bad. Brent Rooker, Nicholas Kurtz, Brandon Lau, and Jonathan Aranda all I think are in play. In fact, I think anybody's in play in this game. Game in Pittsburgh, I don't love from the Pittsburgh batting perspective. Nolan Gorman and Alec Burleson would be my leans in the Cardinals lineup, but again, I'm not too optimistic about this one. I'm going to stay off of it. Game in Philadelphia. This is the first game, the game that was supposed to be yesterday. I think it's a great spot. Jackson Merrill, great price. Gavin Sheets, 520, fine. Bryce Harper, 430, great price. Nick Castellanos, 560, fine. I think you're going to get a lot of home runs in this one, and I would look that way if you want to be selective. The game in Washington is not as good as it was yesterday. They've changed the pitchers. They've moved some pitching around. I believe Jake Irvin starting in the first game, but then Jack Flaherty starting in the second game. And the weather is not as conducive for the left-handed batters as yesterday. So our ginormous round robins that we had ended up voiding. That's fine. Riley Green, 420. James Wood, 450. And Nathaniel Lowe, 999. Over on Novig. Again, I'm not super optimistic here. I think it's a fine spot, but not as excited as yesterday. Game in New York, not great for the Brewers bats. I like the park and the conditions. I think Jeff McNeil and Brent Batty both have value at 960 and 920. Game in Miami. What did I say yesterday? Oh, I like Miami as the underdog. I'm not going to make it an official play. Why am I doing a presidential impersonation? I can't really do a Trump, but it was close. I like him again. I like Jansen Junk again, and I think Simeon Woods Richardson has been inconsistent, and I think Miami could get after him. Jesus Sanchez and Liam Hicks would be my leans. I say Miami money line. I'll spoil it for you. I'm not playing them as an official underdog play. I would want them closer to 120, 125, and they're just barely an underdog at like plus 105, so I'm staying away from that. Game in Toronto, we saw George Springer hit 2 yesterday. I think the conditions are good again. I would stay away from Toronto's bats. Will Warren has been exceptional. Jose Barrios has not. Trent Grisham and Jazz Chisholm would be my leans. Game in, this is annoying. Game in Boston's annoying because they have to finish the game they started yesterday. And so this is for the second game, I guess. And the odds are not out yet. So these would be my leans for that game. There's no odds right now. So do with that what you will. Game in Atlanta, Ozzie Albies and Matt Olson. I think this is a fine spot. I have given you a purple for some reason. I think I just didn't decide what I liked for the Angels in this one. Again, my apologies there. I'm not sure why that is purple. I didn't see anybody I liked it regardless. Prices just weren't great, and the matchups weren't great either. Game in Texas, I love which I think I'll be in the minority of handicappers. I'm not a handicapper, guys. I'm an entertainment guy who likes the betting and likes the sporting. But I like to look at these games and pretend I know what I'm talking about. And I'll pretend I will. We'll say that Nathan Eovaldi, I think, can get hit pretty hard by this Baltimore lineup. And Baltimore's pitcher today has also been rocked all season. So while I don't love this park for home runs, I do think you're going to get runs in this game. Over 8.5 will be added into an official play. We'll talk about that in a second, but I think you could have some opportunities here. Colton Cowser, 410, Ryan O'Hearn, 540. Evan Carter, I'm listing. He's not on any book. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know if he's not starting. I don't know what the deal is, but yesterday I liked Hunter Goodman. He was the same as Evan Carter. He wasn't listed because he was quote-unquote injured. He ended up starting and he hit 2 home runs. So I'm not going to have that happen again. We're putting Evan Carter down. If he plays, great. If he doesn't, it'll void. Josh Smith at 640. Game in Chicago is my second favorite game of the night. I like this game in Tampa Bay, and I quite love this game in Chicago. Overall, I don't love it because I think Imanaga will shut out the Cleveland Indians. That's right, shut them out. 0 runs for the Cleveland Guardians. Did I say Indians? Apologies. That is my bold prediction of the day. Here's the deal. I think these lefties, with the conditions today against Tanner Beebe, I think they'll thrive. And so we're going to put our chips into a basket. Quite frankly, we might put them all into the same basket. Kyle Tucker, 420, Michael Busch, 475, Ian Happ, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Reese McGuire are all leans. We'll talk about what we're doing with those in just a little bit. Game in Colorado, great conditions today. Pitching, Hunter Brown, you know I like to fade him. Austin Gomber's pitching there. So I think Isaac Paredes and Yandy Diaz, although their prices are rather low, it can be expected facing a lefty in a park such as Coors. So I'm not going to play them, but they're my leans. Game in Arizona, Dominic Smith, Perdomo, and Ketel Marte. I think Ketel Marte's price is pretty darn good at 5.75, but I did not work it in. This park continues to kind of confuse me at its rate of production. Game in Seattle, Logan Gilbert is pitching. Noah Cameron is pitching. I really don't like any of these Kansas City bats against Logan Gilbert today. I don't like the park overall. I don't think we're going to get a ton of home runs. Julio Rodriguez, 475. Randy Rosarino, who's been very hot. I think 3 in the last 2 games. Why not ride the heat? Why not ride the hot hand? Let's have a heat check today, shall we, Randy? 5-1. Game in LA, last game of the night. We're running back Max Muncy first and foremost, because if we didn't hit him yesterday, you know what happens. You guys know what happens. You guys are sports bettors. You understand it. You play a guy, you hit everything in your parlay, and you need one guy to cash you. He doesn't cash you. What happens the next day? He hits. And you say, of course he hits today. I had him yesterday. We're not letting that happen. We're putting Max Muncy in at 390. Michael Taylor, 680. Miguel Vargas, 550. And Freddie Freeman, 440. Call me crazy. Call me wild. Call me nuts. I think the Sox could pull this one off. I don't like Clayton Kershaw. I think he gets hit today. Maybe the over's the play. All right, here's our official plays. We'll start with the straights. Nathaniel Lowe at 999 on Novig. I think is too much value. We're playing him. Reese McGuire is not listed on very many books. He's 11-1 on ProfitX. We're playing him. Both of these are going to be 0.05 unit bets. Our round robin, this could hit. Why am I... Guys, you got to tell me. This could hit. It's crazy that FanDuel was offering the best prices for all of these guys. Chalk? Yes. But you've seen this ticket on your timeline before. You've scrolled through whatever social media you subscribe to, whatever social media you consume. You've seen it. That's a chalky ticket. But every one of these guys' best available line was on FanDuel. Is it a sign? We'll see. Brent Rooker, Jackson Merrill, Matt Olson, Max Muncy, and Kyle Tucker. I'm round robining. I believe I did. I don't know. It's written down in my official plays if you guys care. I kept it small. It's 0.2 units total. All right? 20. That's $20. Okay? $20 total on these guys by 2s, by 3s, by 4s, and the total Mega Daddy 5-leg Super Smack. All right? No dog of the day today. Like I said, Chicago White Sox, Miami Marlins would be my leans, but not anything to try to disrupt this 5-1 run we're on. We don't feel good about it. We're not doing it. And for our promos, I have 2, and then I want to talk about one more thing. Same game parlay boost on FanDuel. Ian Happ, Michael Busch to hit home runs. Ian Happ to record a hit. That's a dummy leg. It let me do it today. Sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't let you do it, put a leg in that you think is a lock, and I know that's risky. Okay. DraftKings 25% boost, 3 legs, Seattle money line, Chicago Cubs money line, and over 8.5 in Baltimore and Texas. That's a 0.2 unit play. Last thing I'll tell you, some of you guys said, hey, since you're doing this for fun now, you guys ever listen to We Do It for Fun by the Joker, that series? I don't know. That's kind of niche. I used to love it growing up. I shouldn't have loved it, but I did. Here's the deal. I don't have like a super mega ticket today. I know you guys wanted that. We can call this one our super mega ticket. I think $1 on this wins $3,000. That's pretty, we'll take that. That's what we did. We ended up putting $1 on the 5 legs. So we'll take that as our mega play. But here's what I'm also playing. This is official. And I'm going to walk you through this. I love Chicago Cubs lefties today in their matchup against Tanner Beebe with these park conditions. There should be 5. I don't know if Reese McGuire is starting. FanDuel does not have his lines up. The problem was FanDuel had the better odds for everybody else. So Bet365 had Reese McGuire's lines up, but their odds were not as good. So I'm going to wait and see what FanDuel does if he's in the starting lineup, and we'll go from there. I have bet all of these not with the red line. Why did I not bet Michael Busch and Ian Happ? Quite frankly, because if Ian Happ and Michael Busch hit, I'll be pleased. I'll be very thrilled to win this 36-1 bet for 0.1 units. So I'm not going to double up in those instances where Busch and Happ are in the same ones. I am going to play all of these pairs, Tucker and Pete Crow, Tucker and Busch, Tucker Happ, etc. All right. So that's 7 plays. I put 0.02 units, but $2 on each of them. Okay, let me fix my head again. 0.02, it's $2. If I lose a total of $14 on this, I'm okay with that because I really like this matchup. It's worth it for a little entertainment for me. All right, now I'm going to play all of these guys as well when Reese McGuire's lines comes up. Minus, why didn't I quash it out? Why didn't I squish it out? Why didn't I cross it out? Michael Busch and Ian Happ, number 6 here. I'm not playing Michael Busch and Ian Happ. If they're in any other ones, I won't play them. Okay, so all of that will be tracked officially. I realize you guys don't care. I'm getting this sense that you guys use this and take it for what you will. You don't blindly tail mine. So maybe I spend too much time explaining what I'm doing. Regardless, that's what I'm doing. So we'll run all that today. We'll have fun, and maybe we'll win $1 million. $5,000. I'll settle for $5,000. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.